I'm Carol Kenyon. The course is IS502 and the assignment is Hospitality number 2. The word hospitality was loaded with significance today as I anticipated meeting a new friend at my church. But this was not just any meeting and it was not just any friend. I wondered how it'd go. A few weeks ago, the two of us had had a run in, and I still cannot figure out how I might have managed to sidestep the whole thing. Maybe it was just a perfect storm. We had gone through a reconciliation process, but now it was up to the two of us to decide whether and how to renegotiate our relationship. The practice of hospitality requires at least two people, as do all the practices of Christian community. But sometimes there's a story behind even getting two people to the same table. And hospitality, listening, forgiveness, and gratitude are necessary to that part of the story. And meeting with my friend today included all of those things. Carolyn and I walked to a restaurant, and when the waitress came to serve us, I watched and listened as Carol engaged this young woman who had an unusual name. And in a few moments, she had found out her background and where she was from, and I could see this young woman light up. And I decided Carolyn's worth listening to. She began our part of the conversation by sharing about a friend, and I thought maybe this was a way for her to test the waters and to circle loosely around and to see how this was going to go. She asked me a few different times, "What is this assignment?" And I explained to her that it was just a time to sit together, to listen to each other, and to be present with each other. I did invoke the name of Wimberley, and I told her a few things about listening, and that seemed to lend an air of legitimacy to the assignment. But really, she just started to talk. Notable was where this conversation went. It couldn't have ended up more personal, and both of us became vulnerable to each other. She said something along the way that made me think that her daughter, who I know, might be adopted. And so I asked her at that point, and she said, yes, she is. And then she opened up and told me the whole story. And there were really tragic circumstances surrounding her and her husband's decision to adopt. And those circumstances make this daughter stunningly precious to them. At the same time, the daughter comes from a dire background, which makes her parents stunningly precious to her. I left our conversation together in awe. I am astonished that God would clean up after our falling out so well, so swiftly, and I think so honestly. I marvel that she agreed to meet with me at all. I marvel that she shared. My hospitality assignment resulted in gratitude, and it's not lost on me that this was the same woman who seemed to rob me of gratitude in the early weeks of examen. It wouldn't have occurred to me to just simply meet with Carolyn to listen to her story had it not been an assignment. But after two such experiences of listening together, I am considering developing a habit of listening times, and perhaps that might grow into a practice of Christian community. Thanks.